don't know if you guys can hear me well, but you also probably can't really see me well. I'll probably have to edit this, and yep, there's my cat. Please move. Thank you. He's the outdoor cat. There's probably gonna be cars coming through here. Maybe I'm outside, out back. I want this to feel more personal, because this is a personal subject. And also, I want to kind of tell you guys who I am, what I'm going to be posting. So, I'll be posting, of course, the inspirational videos. I've already done one, it's up. But I'm also just going to be posting stuff about, like, my Legos and just random stuff that is cool. Probably some skating stuff as well, because I love to skate. Maybe some inspirational videos while skating and stuff, you know, because we all need inspiration for something. But today, I want to touch on a topic that not a lot of people talk about. Or I guess it's talked about, but I feel like I don't see it on YouTube as much. I see it more as a meme. I really hope I don't become a meme after this, but insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same exact thing over and over again and expecting the same result. Now, a lot of us in our lives, we're living it in insanity and we don't realize it. Like doing the same routine, same thing over and over. And I know in my last video I talked about routines, but sometimes it's good to break that mold and get out of your comfort zone, because if you can do that, you'll feel a lot better. And we always so many times get caught up in our day-to-day life, and we never take a second to unwind and just kind of sit down and break that cycle that we are stuck in, because that cycle can be so painful for us, and it can hurt us, because a lot of times those cycles are cycles of pain and grief and guilt, and it hurts us, not physically, but it still affects us, and we can still feel it. Maybe not physically, but we can still feel it in our mental state, in our mind. We can still feel the hurt mentally of insanity and being stuck in those feelings over and over again. Now, I've kind of talked about how it's infinite, it's the loop that we get stuck in, but I also want to touch on the expecting a different result, because that is also a big part of insanity. The main part of insanity is, of course, doing the same thing over and over again. The second and even bigger part is that we expect the same result. We go through our day-to-day lives and we go through the same routines daily, and we expect a big change. We expect something big to change in our lives, when it probably won't if we just keep doing the same thing. Nothing will change if you do the same thing. Let me give it to you this way. You're making a sandwich. Now, if you make the sandwich with the same thing and expect the taste to change, that's kind of dumb. If you make it every single time, this sandwich, like it's peanut butter and jelly. You use grape jelly and peanut butter every single time. Same bread, same jelly, same peanut butter brand, everything. And you expect it to change how it tastes? It's not going to change how it tastes. It'll taste the exact same. That is insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting it to change, when it's never going to change. It's the same thing. That's the big part, is that it won't change until you change something. Your life won't change until you change something. Which also goes back to my last video about believing yourself. You can't change anything until you believe in yourself. So, it's a good thing I posted that video first, because this is good to come right after it. If you don't believe and you don't change stuff, you're just going to be living in insanity, that same loop. And it sucks, because I live in that loop too a lot of the times. I live in that loop with school. It's like, oh, go to school, do the same thing every day, and I expect my grades to get better, but they never do, because, duh, I'm not changing anything about how I do it. Like, I suck at turning things in on time, and I always say to myself, oh, I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna turn this in on time, and I end up not doing it, and I expect my grades to get better. Yeah, I realize how dumb I sound when I'm doing this stuff. I am dumb sometimes, but that doesn't mean that I'm stupid. It just means that I can see that I'm dumb and I can change it, so I can be smart. You can too. If you think that you're acting dumb, then you can change it by doing something smart. It's, it's basic math. You take one dumb thing, you add two smart things, and now you have a one smart thing. Because I don't really know. I'm failing math, if you can't tell. Because that was a very bad example, but still, the sandwich example was good. I hope you guys write that down or something. It's not a requirement. There's not going to be tests after this. You can see this is kind of a more lighthearted video, of course, because, I've heard this same message so many times. Almost feels like insanity. How many times I've heard this message over and over. Because my mom used to run a meeting, and she would do this lesson on insanity. And that's what's inspiring me to tell you guys about it. Because no one really realizes that insanity is a real thing. And sometimes we don't realize that it actually is affecting us, because we never heard about it. We never heard that insanity isn't just like some mental disorder. It's an actual thing that happens in our day-to-day life when we don't break that mold and we don't break the routine. If we don't get out of our comfort zone and do something new and change how we do things, we're just going to keep living in that loop. And that loop can be torturous, no matter who you are. That loop can make you feel depressed, and it can make you feel tired. When you break the mold and you break out of that loop, you finally decide to try something new, it's going to feel so much better. That's, again, I'm going to mention skating a lot when doing these inspirational videos, because it's very much a topic that needs inspirational ties to it. Skating, I was stuck in a loop for so long, and it was just the same routine. And then a skate shop opened in town. I decided to go check it out. I took a skateboard down there that I never used anymore, because I gave up on skating. If you've watched my Believe video, then you know that. I had a bad experience when I first tried to skate, and so I stopped. So I go to the skate shop, I give them this board, and I'm like, hey, here's this board. If you want to give it to someone, you can give it to someone. Or if you want to hang it up in the shop, you can hang it up in the shop. So the owner is like, hey, thank you so much for that. And he asked me if I have a board to skate on. I'm like, no, this is my only board. And he's like, well, I'll try and get this fixed up for you. The next day, or I think, yeah, it was the next day, he messages me, and he's like, hey, Can you come down by the skate shop later? I want to talk to you about your board. I'm like, yup, sure. He probably has an estimate on the price or something. So I go down there, and he introduces me to this woman, and she knows the owner, like they're friends or whatever, and she asks me, so you like to skate? I'm like, yeah, I like skating. I mean, I haven't done it in a while. I kind of want to get back into it, but I don't. Hayden's fixing up my board right now. She's like, well, how about I buy you a new board? They gave me a new board. That definitely broke the routine. Like, for sure, without a doubt, the routine was broken, and I started to try and skate again. I skated home that night, and I hadn't skated in so long, but I still had the motions down to actually just skate regular. And that is a very good example of breaking out of everyday life. Before that happened, it was just day to day, go to school, put on this mask that I was this happy, funny guy, when on the inside I felt really depressed and tired because it was the same thing every day. But it can all change. If you believe in yourself and you decide to break the mold, you can get out of that insanity. Because again, I'll tell you one more time, insanity, the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to change. I kept doing the same exact thing in my day-to-day life and just accepting it. But I still expected stuff to change. I was like, oh, I'll get good grades or whatever. I'll feel better once I get a bit more sleep or something. But no, it never happened until something changed it, until I decided to go and step out of my comfort zone and decide to do something that would change it. I didn't have to take my skateboard down to the skate shop. I just thought, hey, this guy's opening a new skate shop. I have a skateboard I don't use. I'll take it down there. He can hang it up in his shop or whatever. And now he's actually saving that board so that he can give it to someone who, this summer, who doesn't have the money for their own board. That is a change that changed my routine and broke me out of the mold. And now my old board will be able to help someone else break out of that routine. I hope. So, of course, you already know this was a very laid-back video. A lot more laid-back than my very intense Believe video. It's still a great video. I hope. I haven't really watched the full thing because I kind of was recording it. But a lot of people have said it was good. I hope that they're right. So if you want to go check that one out, please do. I'd be so thankful. It'd be such a blessing. And if you could subscribe as well. I don't really want to like say, hey, you should subscribe to me, because that feels kind of weird. But if you could like the video, subscribe, that'd be very appreciated. And yeah, I hope you break the mold. I hope you change your life. I hope you change your routine. And I hope you never have to live with insanity ever again. Thank you for watching. My name's Scott. Until the next time, stay positive, believe in yourself, and never stop trying.